Today, we are covering my easiest source of passive income and how I built it from the ground up, starting completely from scratch, from zero. Maybe you've done this, maybe you haven't. Actually, you probably haven't because you're not a number nerd like I am. But have you ever watched those videos on YouTube where they're like 20 ways to earn passive income? Or maybe it's a blog post that you scroll through that's like 7 ways to make $800 a week, or you know what I'm talking about, right? So I've done it, I've been there, and more often than not, I still click on those videos, I still click on those articles, and as I scroll through them, I kind of just think to myself, this is the same old crap, just recompiled and put into a different blog post or a different video. It's the same suggestions over and over and over. They just get reused and there's never anything new for me. They're always like, oh, just start an Etsy store or write an ebook. Yeah, like, okay, nobody really wants to do those things. Move on next. So my easiest source of passive income that I'm about to talk about has never been on any one of these lists. It's probably something that you're aware of, but have never really thought of doing to make passive income. I feel like it's something pretty unique, but the great part is that it's so easy to do. It's really, really simple and anybody can do it. Now, let me be very clear. This is not my highest source of passive income. I don't make the most amount of money by doing this, but it is by far the easiest source of passive income that I have every single month. So, are you ready for it? It's simple. 2 words, web hosting. Okay, so everybody's heard of the companies like HostGator or Bluehost. Chances are, if you've ever needed a website, you've heard of these companies and these are some of the first places that you go. But how would you like to start your own hosting company and rather than forking over the cash to these companies, just pocketing it yourself? And here's the best part. Most of these companies like Bluehost or HostGator, they get you started with a really cheap introductory price. Like it's like $4 a month, I think, typically when you start out. The great thing about this is when you have your own company, you can charge whatever you want. And if someone's willing to pay it, that's what you'll make. Hold on, let me break this down for you. What I do is I rent a server for a flat rate every month. My server each month costs somewhere, it's like $23, I think is what I pay. But then from there, I can host as many websites as I want for other people. I handle all the billing myself, and for most of the websites that I host, I charge anywhere from $15 to $50 a month. With just one single client, one website, I cover all of the fees for my server for that month, and then everything above and beyond that, I just get a pocket for myself. That's money that I make. Essentially, this is kind of like having a rental property on the internet, but it's even better because 1, you don't have to evict tenants ever. 2, you don't get phone calls at 2 a.m. You don't have any toilets to unclog, and nobody damages your property. There's really all of the upsides, but none of the downsides. So if you don't believe me, let me show you a breakdown of my PayPal account. So you can see here a breakdown of all the different charges that I've made, all the different payments that I've received over the last month. So you can see this morning at 6:29 a.m., I got a payment for $9.41. You can see I've got another one, $14.26, $43 that I charged for one website, $14.26, $33.68. So I get all of these payments over the course of a month and they just come in randomly. And every time I get one, it's like Christmas. I get excited because I get paid and I didn't have to do any active work. That's the best part. This is all passive income. I'll host websites for pretty much anyone that needs a website, anyone that's looking. I mean, I've got websites for a hair salon. I've got websites for 2 construction companies. I've got websites for personal blogs. I've got websites for mommy bloggers. I've got somebody who has a blog about weight loss. I mean, really anything. I mean, I've got a website for a solar company out of California. Yeah, like I said, anybody and everyone who needs a website, I'm willing to host it for them because I make the commissions every single month. For the most part, I try to get all of my clients to pay through PayPal just because it's recurring and it's automatic and it's easy. Not all of my clients will show up here because some prefer Venmo and some people don't want a monthly fee. They just want to pay for it all up front in 1 month, and that's fine too. So that's not going to be in here. But for most part, like I said, I try and get everything through PayPal. Right now with all of my clients, I bring in right around $700 a month. And like I said, it's completely passive because once the websites are set up and ready to go, I really don't touch them for the most part. So if you want me to skip straight to the point, the company that I use is called A2 Hosting. And what you're gonna wanna do is I've got a link down in the description. If you go ahead and click on that, the type of account that you're gonna wanna purchase is something called a reseller hosting account. If you hang on through the rest of the video, I'm gonna go through and show how I set up clients, how I add new websites. It's really easy, but I'm just gonna go step by step and show you how you can do this for yourself if you want. So let's take a look behind the scenes and let me log into my panel here. If I click on list accounts and then go all, you can see these are a list of all the different websites that I host on my one single server. So I currently have 43, is that right? Yeah, 43 websites that I host. And then, like I said, for each one of these websites that I have listed here, I get a payment each and every month because they've got to pay their rent and I'm the landlord and I get to collect. Real quick, before I continue, I just want to say, if you guys like videos like this, talking about how to make money, how to invest, especially investing in real estate, go ahead and click on the red subscribe button down below. And of always, if you love this video, give me a like, give me a thumbs up because it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so let's say you're sold, you're ready to do this, you're ready to make some side income, but you're not very technical. You're not sure if this is something that you can do. Can you do this? And the answer is yes. It's really, really easy. All you need to do is how to click on about 3 or 4 different boxes and you'll be ready to go. And the reason for that is because you don't have to know anything about building websites. What you're doing is you're just providing the platform for other people to have their websites. So you're going to set them up with a website initially, but it's just going to be a blank website. At that point, you turn it over to them and they do all of the hard work. They figure out the theme that they're going to use. They're going to figure out the different colors that they want to use. If they break something, it's not on you because your service is working. They just broke their little tiny website and it's up to them to fix it. You don't necessarily have to provide any support. You just provide the hosting. Hold on, I'll show you an example. So let's say here that I have a new client that I am ready to build a website for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click here and say create a new account. You'll scroll down here and for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna make my domain be test.brycematheson.io. Username, we'll say Bryce Test, password test 1234, test 1234. Package standard. Scroll down, all this is boring, create. So it's gonna go through a couple different things. It's gonna set up everything so that it's ready to go. And beyond that, you really don't have to do a whole lot. Okay, so now once that's done, you go ahead and click on list accounts again, click on all accounts, scroll down to the new one that I created, which is this guy right here, Bryce Test. And then you're gonna click on the CP button, which takes them to their control panel. What you're gonna do is you're gonna click on WordPress. Remember, that's 1 click. You're gonna click on install now, 2 click, and then you're gonna go 3 install. So again, it's gonna go through right now. Install WordPress takes 20 seconds. We'll see, 12, 13, usually just jumps. There we go. Okay, so we should be good. If we open a browser, go to test.brycematheson.io, boom, we have a WordPress website up and ready to go. At this point, you're done. What you do is you just give the client the username and the password that you set up during the install, and then they handle the rest of everything. You get to sit back, you get to watch them design it. They could build a beautiful website, they could build an ugly website. I mean, I've seen some pretty ugly websites built by some clients, but you don't care because it's not your business. You're not worried about that. All you're doing is providing the hosting for it and collecting the rent every month. So that's not too bad, is it? Okay, now while it really is that simple, I'm sure you guys have a couple questions. So let me answer those right here, right now, just to clear the air, because I know if I don't, I'm gonna get them down in the comments. First and foremost, why would somebody choose you over Bluehost or HostGator? Because the answer to that is people simply don't know that there's an alternative. People think if they need a website, that's where they have to go to, and they just don't know that other people can provide this service. If you can get people to sign up with you instead, they'll get the exact same service and probably get more of like a personalized touch, because if they have issues, they can reach out to you. But spoiler alert, they're not gonna have issues. It's really easy because all you do is host their website. Another thing that people ask me whenever I tell them that I do this is, how do I find my clients? Now, here's the secret. This is really cool. What I did was I teamed up with a digital marketing company. If you're not sure what that is, it's usually a company that builds websites for people, manages like Google SEO, runs Google ads and Facebook ads, and it's kind of just like this one-stop shop for your business and your website. I called up this company, reached out to them, and I told them that I'd be willing to host all of their websites for all of their clients, but I would split the commissions with them 50-50. And they said, great, that sounds awesome, because they now have an additional stream of revenue, but so do you, but they really have all of the work. So typically I'll get 2 to 3 phone calls from this company every month, and they'll say, hey, we've got a new client, would you spin us up a new website? I said, sure. So it takes me 5 minutes, I go click, 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 I send them the username, the password, and then they have their web designer go through and build the website. My portion is done, but I get a check every single month. Next question I get is really truly how much work is involved in this? And to be completely honest, this is so passive. Like I said earlier in the video, this is my easiest source of passive income, and really anybody can do it. On any given month, I probably spend at most 30 minutes managing all of my websites. I'll just kind of go through, give them a quick once over, like make sure that everything's running like it's supposed to be. But after the initial setup, I don't really have to do anything. The last question that I get really frequently is, do I have to have a technical background to do this? Does it help? Yeah. Is it required? Absolutely not. Most everything on the server is like, it's a GUI, so it's a graphical user interface. So if you need to figure out how to set up email, you click on email. If you need to figure out how to install WordPress, you click on WordPress. If you need to figure out how to do a backup, you click on backup. Like, everything is really self-explanatory and it's pretty easy. And the other part is too, is you have to remember that you're renting this server from somebody else. And when you're paying for a service, they provide support to you. So if you have a client that comes to you and they're having issues, you can just go to support and say, hey, how do I fix this? Most of the time, I don't have anybody come to me and ask for anything special. Like I said, once the website's set up, as long as it's up and functioning, they don't have any questions, and I've never had any of the websites go down. Okay, so if you're still with me and this is still something that you're interested in doing and want to do, I'm gonna walk you through everything step by step, how to purchase your server, how to get everything up and running. It's really simple, it just takes a couple of steps, but I'm gonna walk you through right now. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna go down into the description of this video and click on the link in the description. That link is sanesense.com/web hosting. Once you browse to that URL, you're going to get a screen that looks like this, and you're going to click on the button up at the top that says reseller hosting. Now, you'll be presented with a couple different plans. If you want to kind of get a more in-depth view, which I recommend, click down here where it says get full details. Now, this just shows a comparison of all the different plans that you can do. Right now, I've got this silver plan, which means I can host up to 60 websites on my one account. The great thing is, as you max that out, as you grow, you can upgrade to the gold and you can upgrade to platinum after that. But if you're just starting out, probably you can just use the bronze for now. You can see right now it starts at $9.80. The price is a little misleading because you only get that price if you purchase like 3 years at a time, I think. If you're really serious about this, which I wish I had purchased the 3-year plan back in the day, because then I would have gotten a lot cheaper price. Right now, I think I purchased like a 6-month plan just because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do this. So my fee, I think every month is right around $23. But anyway, choose whichever plan you want. Go ahead and click on whatever plan. And then from there is just a couple simple steps. You'll put in your credit card, do all the basic steps, and then eventually you will be brought to this screen. Now I'm gonna gray out a decent amount of this information because it's sensitive. It's got my password, username, a couple different things on here. But what you're gonna do is you're going to click on the URL that you have here under reseller administration URL. When you click on that, you'll be brought to this screen, which is the login screen for your server. Now, right here on this screen, you have your username and you also have your password listed. That is the username and password that you're going to use when you get to this screen. So let me log in here really quick. And then this looks very familiar to the other screen that I showed you earlier in the video. And then from here, this is where you create the different websites. If you want to create a new website, obviously you create a new account, or if you want to see your websites, you click on list accounts, and these are all the different websites that you host. The cool thing too is, let's say you already have a website. Let's say you've got a blog or something else. You could host your own website. Rather than paying your $6 a month to Bluehost or whatever service you use, you can just move your website over to your own server, cancel your existing hosting, and pretty much your site is kind of free if you have everybody else already paying for your server. Again, you pay the initial monthly fee, but anything above and beyond that is just extra money in your pocket. Okay, so that's it. That's how I make $700 a month in passive income, doing virtually zero, and I also started from zero. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, if you want to make a couple extra bucks on the side, this is a great thing that I recommend. And like I said, you can charge whatever you want. You make up the prices, you send them the bill. So if you have a client that's like a medium-sized business, and this is something that I'm trying to work on a little bit more myself too, is getting higher profile clients. Like I said, right now I've kind of got like the mommy bloggers and a couple things. It's great income. But if I could just get a couple sites that are like $200 a month, you know, you can see how fast that scales. So you can charge whatever somebody's willing to pay. So if you can provide them a lot of value and say, look, this is great, or maybe you could reach out to businesses that don't even have a website yet, maybe throw something together on WordPress, then you could charge them for that, and then you could also charge them for the hosting. And I've done that before as well. So that's it for this video. If you guys have questions on anything about this, how I do things, how I set things up, if you have questions on how you would manage clients or really anything like that, give me a comment down below. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.